Before us great death stands, our fate held close within his quiet hands. When with proud joy we lift life's red wine, to drink deep of the mystic shining cup, and ecstasy through all our being leaps, death bows his head and weeps. Think about that, guys. When with proud joy we lift life's red wine, death bows his head and weeps. Because that's it, right? We were just talking before. No one's guaranteed a lot of time in this world, and no one's guaranteed good times in this world. We all know, everyone that's been listening here knows about tragically what happened this weekend, and on Monday, Nicky Hayden, 2006 world champions, passing. Tragic all around. And Nicky didn't get a lot of time in this world, but the time he did get was amazing and epic. And if anyone's been on social media for the past day and a half, the amount of lives that he touched is truly astonishing. The things that people have said about him. So to reiterate that line, when with proud joy we, us, lift life's red wine, death weeps. That's the key, guys. The time we have fun. We celebrate the good things in life, and I think we all know this weekend was an amazing weekend of racing, and we all know that Nicky Hayden, the guy with the permanent smile, would want us to celebrate life and celebrate the thing that gave him the most joy in life, which is an epic weekend of MotoGP racing, of Moto2 racing, of Moto3 racing. So I'm lifting my glass of red wine. I know Everett's with me, and I know Rob is with me, and we're going to enjoy life, and we're going to say, not today, to death, and enjoy and talk shit and have fun and laugh all around, and hopefully everyone listening to a great weekend of racing. So everyone lift your wine for a second.
Cheers.
And here's to you, Nicky.
Cheers, Nicky.
Cheers.
Welcome to MotoGP, guys.
Welcome to MotoGP, everyone. We are coming at you with episode number 61, and as you haven't heard, we're keeping it a little more mellow, a little on the down low this time. Kevin got us started with some touching words about Nicky Hayden. We plan to do more.
Yeah.
Oh, Kevin, what did you want to say something there?
Yeah, obviously not my words. Poem by Rainier Rilke, German poem from the turn of the century, and we'll do a Nicky episode, guys. In the future, earlier Rob was saying he has no words, he's still in a state of shock. I know me and Everett are super bummed and talking about it. We'll do an episode about Nicky, a retrospective, and do it right by him. 1 day's notice is not enough time to do the episode that he deserves. So for today, I'm planning on having some fun and bringing some joy back to the racing community, and we'll cover the life and times of Nicky Hayden in the not too distant future.
Yeah, so we'll get there for sure, but we all know that everyone wants to hear us have fun. We all know that we had an amazing race this weekend, so we're going to move straight to that. This episode, of course...
Races, by the way. Races. Speaking did you see Moto3? That shit was off the chain, dog. What was going on in that race?
They were... I agree. Both other two Grand Prix races were amazing this weekend. Unfortunately, in order to keep this episode not 3 hours long, we don't have that much time to talk about it. We'll probably only hit on GP. Oh, actually, Kevin just messaged me here. Everett's on the phone, too.
Hey, I'm on the phone. Cheers, everybody.
What's up, brah?
Sorry, I shouldn't forget about him.
Everett, the forgotten one.
Oh, right, right. Yeah, Everett's birthday was this past couple of days. Happy birthday, Ev. You're the old man of the group, by the way, at freaking 36 years old, right?
Someone's got to do it.
So old. So old.
So old. But all right, let's get down to some fun stuff then. So first things first, Riders Law. They're your California motorcycle accident injury lawyers. Riders Law is hooking everyone up with motorcycle racing these days. They've got me on the East Coast racing in Moto America. They've got Josh Herron and the Mean Motorsports team out there too. They're helping out a bunch of club racers. And if you want them to continue helping out racers and the community as a whole, please call them and let them help you out with any legal help. So if you ever get into an accident, ever need any legal help, please give Riders Law a call. The other Rob and Cy will definitely take care of you. On this episode as well, besides Riders Law, we have CycleGear back with something interesting.
Back with us! Back with us. Everyone was like, whoa, no CycleGear after the one. Like, guys, they're not permanently sponsoring us. They give us cool shit so we can give it to you. Everyone was instantly like, oh, they didn't like it because you swore a lot of whatever. Now, they fucking love that we swear a shit.
How could they not, you know?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, so if you notice,
Right.
they kind of fell off like around the MotoGP Coda round because they were building something up for us. So
Yeah.
we'll be announcing a giveaway later on in the episode. Actually, probably within the next 15 minutes or so. But
No, what we're going to announce is the giveaway. What we're going to announce in 15 minutes is how you fucking get it.
Yeah,
so
there
here's
you
the thing. See, I'm not saying CycleGear swiped us something, but I'm not saying they swiped us something. But what do we got? This is the Le Mans round. Who's the hottest rookie to burst on the scene since Marc Marquez, since Ben Spies, since Casey Stoner, one Johann Zarco, French rookie phenom, French round. We got an autographed Johann Zarco face shield worn in a race, motherfuckers. This is legit memorabilia. Get this now, because the 2019 world champion, you're going to be able to say, I have his rookie year visor autographed.
there's still bugs on this visor, right?
Fucking fingerprints and bugs. So if you want to steal his fingerprint so you could break into his iPhone and get all them saucy pictures, you could do that too. But in a few minutes, we will tell you how you can win that. As always, it's free, and there's just kind of a fun little way to enter our raffle kind of giveaway thing. But that's what we do. We give away cool-ass shit. This is pretty cool. Thank you again, CycleGear, for snagging that and giving it to us to give away.
So, I mean, they're sponsoring us, but really they're sponsoring you guys because you can just win something for free. So
Right.
Who doesn't want free shit, right?
Yeah, right?
I want all the free shit.
Cool free shit on top of that.
Exactly.
So if you don't win the free shit and you need some motorcycle parts, definitely go to CycleGear or check out CycleGear.com and check out their merch, and they will take care of you too. But all right, so Kev, I feel like
also
you already...
tell them you would love to buy a BrotoGP shirt from them.
Holy
and
shit!
that wouldn't it be great if they distributed shirts? I'm just saying.
You're onto
Shirts
something.
and stickers and hats, maybe.
Shirts and stickers.
Yeah.
Down
There's a
to business.
There's something clever happening there. I don't know what.
Exactly.
All right, let's actually talk about motorcycle racing. So Kev really segued us there with Johann Zarco and the home racer. So obviously we're coming at you after the Le Mans round. Zarco is French, and he is the new MotoGP phenom. Even though I'm still not exactly sold on it, but Zarco did something amazing.
Not sold on it. Everett, back me up.
Dude,
He's not sold on it.
Dude, do you not like free shit? Like, how could you not be sold on that?
No,
Right.
I'm sold on free shit, and I would love to win the prize myself.
He's saying he's not sold on Zarco.
That's
He's
the free
saying
shit. Zarco's free
Right.
excitement. Like, that is amazing.
Exactly.
We did not expect that. That is free excitement in MotoGP.
Exactly. We're talking about, home race. Everything about this episode, this race seems scripted, down to his troubles in FP3, having to go through Q1 to Q2, getting on the front row, and then having an epic battle with two of the best racers in the world, leading the race, not folding, and then knowing when he needed to back off to bring it home, and then still surprisingly getting a second place when Valentino throws it away. Zarco's cold as ice, bro. And this was a race he would not be denied. It was amazing to watch. The French fans love him. 100,000 plus people at Le Mans, which, all the media want to talk about is how shitty Le Mans is all the time. And I'm like, why are you guys downplaying a track in France like that has 100,000 people? You're talking about how crappy it is to go to.
They hating.
They always hating. But, like I was texting Everett and Rob and Dennis. Who were the last rookies to podium in their rookie year? Marc Marquez. Who before him? Ben Spies, race winner on the Yamaha 2. Who before him? Casey Stoner, Andre Dovizioso. You think of the last 4 guys who podiumed in their rookie year, and you're only talking about 3 guys on a satellite, which is Ben Spies, Andre Dovizioso, and Casey Stoner. That is solid company to be in. And he did it faster than anyone but Stoner. Stoner podiumed in his 2nd race. Zarco did it in his 5th. It took almost an entire season for Andrea. But, I mean, dude's the real deal. I wasn't sold on him last year. Everett was huge on him from the get-go, so I give that to you, dog. That's all you right there, right?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Older and wiser.
Older and wiser, but he's definitely... It was amazing to watch him lead that race and not even, it wasn't like he led the race balls to the wall and then crashed. This wasn't a Qatar issue. This guy led the race and was stone cold dealing. When Maverick got in front of him, was trying to pull away, he could not pull away for a whole lot of laps.
Yeah, he just looks so comfortable, like he belongs there, and he's been doing it for a long time. It's just really strange. You don't expect it, right?
Yeah, I mean, the thing you kind of read is he's not supposed to be doing what he's doing.
No.
He rode the Suzuki and then got passed up for it to give it to Alex Rins. He gets the satellite bike, with Booger eating Herb, and right. And then he comes, same thing, like last year, no one expected him to win. A lot of people thought that, like, Sam Lowe's was going to win a bunch of races and fight for the title. That didn't materialize. Or Alex Rins was obviously going to step up now that he had the rookie year with some wins. That never materialized. Zarco put his nose to the grindstone, won the 2nd world title that no one had ever done in Moto2, and then comes into MotoGP, and he does not give half a fuck.
I just wish he would be I wish he would smoke cigarettes, and you'd see him in the paddock
Yes.
smoking, and he'd be a true Frenchman, and we would embrace that.
I had a whole plate full of beignets on Sunday morning in honor of Zarco. Man, I was. This is a thing where beignets are the dope. I don't want to sidetrack it. Beignets are like
little. What is it? What's the coffee drip thing where the pour over and
the French press,
some beignets,
right?
Yeah, some French press, whatever. Yeah, we need some more of that. Bring it back.
Right, and what was crazy too is Zarco. Like I said, he did not do well in FP3 to lead into qualifying. He had to go through Q1. He got to Q2. When was the last time?
That was dope.
It is not common to go through Q1 and then still be on the front row in Q2. That was amazing sessions.
Well, the qualifying was all fucked up because some of the fastest guys in the first qualifying were fast enough to. Basically, in theory, they should have been on pole, right? But it was all
Lorenzo was bitching about that, right? Yeah, he went faster in Q1 than the dudes did in Q2. Whatever, Lorenzo.
Yeah, crybaby motherfucker.
I don't know. Well, so back to my original complaint is I feel like I'm still just tempering my expectations a little bit because we've seen some performances somewhat similar to this, like on the Tech 3 with satellite riders. Like we know that bike is solid. We realize that he is the 2-time Moto2 champion, and he should be getting results like this. Like, I still wonder if he's going to be able to push through and is not going to peak here at podium level if he's going to push through to wins. I mean, Nick Harris is already saying that, Johann Zarco will win a race before the season is out, and I can't agree with those predictions already.
But you know what else Nick Harris?
Yeah.
You know what else Nick Harris said like 19 times was Zarco for president. Look, there was a sign. I promised myself I wouldn't rant on this episode. I promised myself.
Don't do it.
This is a positive episode.
I'm sorry.
Bro.
I brought Nick Harris up. I shouldn't have done it.
Yeah, you got him all riled up.
He might have been. I want to say, stop saying Zarco for president. Someone had a sign, you try to steal it and make that your time. I think that Zarco could win a race. Yeah, they got no. Zarco can win a race. I'm not saying he will, but here's the thing, Rob. Any other race, and he is theoretically winning this, because what we saw between Maverick and Valentino was 2 of the greatest riders in the world running at basically 100% race pace. You saw those lap charts, Rob. I know you did.
Yeah.
Because you're a dork and you looked that shit up. What Maverick and Valentino were able to pull in the second half of that race, how fast they were able to go for how long, was pure insanity. They had no business running that pace. Right. They had no business upping the ante for that long. I mean, Maverick said he was surprised that Zarco was able to maintain that 0.3 for as many laps as he did. If this is any other race where we don't see two dudes fighting for something other than a win, Valentino for his pride and Maverick for that he is a title challenger, Zarco is in for the win on this one. I really think the only reason he wasn't fighting for the win is we saw two of the best guys in the world with something to prove. They push themselves above and beyond where you normally can push yourself.
But I mean, we say that consistently, and one of the things that always gets brought up in response to that is the fact that there are 4 other riders that are better than Zarco that can do that. I mean, 3 for sure. And then you throw in Danny and Dovey, and you get at least one more out of those 2, right? Like if Marquez wouldn't have crashed, I can't go down hypotheticals, but if Marquez wouldn't have crashed, then Zarco would have been further back still, and we wouldn't be talking about him fighting for the win.
Yeah, but that's the whole point, right? The hypotheticals are what sometimes randomly happen, and that's how he could, in theory, have been a race winner had Rossi taken.
Maverick.
Maverick out? Yeah, if Rossi had accidentally taken Maverick out, then he would have won, right? So it could have very easily happened, and it would have been a total fluke. But that's how he's probably going to get that win, right? I mean, do you think he's going to get an outright, just like I fucking battled Maverick and won?
I mean, here's the thing.
That's even hard for me.
I don't agree with Rob's point that if Marquez hadn't crashed, I said on fucking Friday morning before anything, I was picking Maverick for the win because new surface on that thing, grippy as fuck, and solid grip favors the Yamahas day long. Hold on.
Did you get that notarized?
Yeah, I did. No, it's on Facebook with timestamps. You can see that shit. I posted it. And I said the high grip is bad because the Hondas start to over wheelie and have major problems because of large grip. They do better in low grip situations, which is exactly what Marquez said in the first day was the track grip's great when it's wet. If a Honda in the wet is telling you the track grips great and has awesome grip and adhesion, that's a bad sign for a dry race.
Yeah.
I think in the dry, the Tech 3 2016 Yamaha is superior to the Honda at a well-gripping track that doesn't, wear the tires, which is exactly what Le Mans was this year.
I mean, the results did favor that. I just the Marquez talent factor is always the question for those results, right?
It's true. Yeah,
but I guess I'll continue to be skeptical of Zarco. I got one good point about him though is he seems to be kind of bucking the trend for teams going after the young hot talent in MotoGP and expecting results out of them. Right, Zarco is someone that is more experienced, and I feel like he is showing that experience level in these performances. Right, he, like you already said, he didn't burn up the tires early on in the race. Like it seemed like he had that pace, Rob, from FP4.
And why didn't he? And why didn't he burn the tires up before the race? Those guys had a plan from day one, and literally for the first, they were going to run the soft option. Zarco was going to ride incredibly smooth, and he was going to do what he did in Moto 2 and not what he did in Qatar, which was in Moto 2 his ability to up the pace and maintain, grip and speed levels. Sorry, Rob just texted me too, so I could broken. But his ability to maintain grip levels on soft tires, so that was his plan. So that was partly a reason why he didn't get into Q2 off the bat, because he was working a planned out situation. He is not distracted. He's older than most guys. He's not the young phenom full of potential, but he's the. Go ahead, Ev.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So it's Rob's making a great point, and the issue is that.
Did you hear that?
Is that a kitten?
My cat don't agree with you. My cat does not agree with you.
Is that a motherfucking kitten? No. Rob is making one of the best points, given the current situation with the ages and the talent and the progressions of talent. Because Zarco is a Moto 2 winner, but he's like technically a quote unquote older Moto 2 winner, right? He's not the Rins. He's not some of the other guys that have come out of it. Whatever. Pole or when they came out of it. So the issue is the factories are overlooking the actual talent, and they're going for the age and the quote-unquote up-and-coming talent. And that's
right,
what's
the potential.
that's what's so ironic is that they're finally getting bit in the ass by the guy who's the actual talent, and it's just fucking awesome. I hope he keeps winning, and I hope he tells them all to fuck off, and I hope Yamaha gets him to replace Rossi. And then, then they've got the two best guys in the paddock, besides Marquez.
And it's funny that you say that because Rossi actually mentioned that. But what's interesting about Zarco is, we've seen this trend, right? We have the VR46 Riders Academy, and we have the CEV Championships, and it's like we're manufacturing riders since they're 5 years old. You know what I mean? Like, we're manufacturing these guys. They are literally created racers.
Yeah.
Zarco didn't even start racing until he was 19. Right? He did not start racing until he was 19. This is the guy who last year was driving around Europe in a van with an R6 to train at tracks and do track days and get time to build his skills and abilities. This is the guy who didn't go to MotoGP and stayed in Moto2 because he couldn't get a good enough ride, and he figured the pressures of going for the first the first repeat Moto2 would fire him and make him ready for the pressures of MotoGP, which we saw at Le Mans with constant interviews, constant talk, constant everything, media appearances, and all the pressures of a home race, which we've seen many riders buckle over the year. Not Nicky Hayden, by the way, just to throw that in there. Dude won his first home race. But we've seen Johann Zarco show a level of maturity and discipline and focus that the young guys don't have. I mean, I'm going to say it, Everett. I'm going to say it right now. He's not that interested in his sunglasses.
Don't give up.
Right.
Zero.
He don't care.
Zero.
Right. Ever try to see what Johann Zarco's up to on social media? You can't, because he's not on it. He's not fucking posting Instagram stories of him and his friends on airplanes and checking things out. Stuff. This guy is 100. He's too old. Right. But that oldness, that maturity gives him a dedication and a work ethic that you just don't get when you're 21 years old. Generally.
I love how we're talking about how old he is, even though he's only 26 years old.
He is old,
right? But that's different
as it comes to
27. Rob.
Racing.
He's first of all, look at Zarco. Everett says he wishes he smoked. If that dude is 27 years old, he's been chain smoking since he was 7 years old.
He'll be 27
because he looks
in
like
July.
he's 47. He looks like he's 47. You know what I mean? I mean, that guy does not have a solid head of hair. So he's pulling that idea up on Tech 3. But, it's like we said, everyone talked about Alex Rins as this guy with all this potential and a race winner, but we saw exactly what happened with all that. He's too focused on sunglasses, and he's too focused on his Instagram and his Twitter and all of that stuff. And we saw that... Cito Pons is already complaining about Fabio Quartararo and the same kind of stuff, that he's not focused and they signed him too early. But no one's saying that about Zarco. And he don't give a fuck that he was riding up tight with Valentino. Get the fuck out of my way. I'm going for the win here. This is my home track, and he simply does not care. And I don't know. I think that the trend of ever pushing forward riders younger and younger and younger, and then all of a sudden, let's skip Moto 2 and go straight to Moto 3. Danny Kent was offered a ride with Tech 3, and Jack Miller makes it right. It fucked it all up, right? And then Tito Rabat fucked everything up. But I think it's time to step back and look and realize, hey, Rossi's 38, and he's fighting for wins and fighting for the title. Maybe this early age obsession is not as valid as we think, and Johann Zarco is the proof is in the pudding.
It's very rare that it's been validated. Think about it, right? Who is it? Mark Marquez? Who else?
Well, pretty much everyone that went straight to a factory ride from the middle class has validated the young talent.
Yes. Okay, give me more examples.
I mean, Danny.
Well, Max Biaggi was an example of someone who did not start riding till late in his career, 18, right? Then he won his first race as a rookie. All I'm saying is, look at these guys who seem to be manufactured from the ground up. Look at Alex Marquez. I hate to bring up talking shit again. I said I wouldn't do it, but here's a guy they've desperately attempted to manufacture since day one, and he just don't have it. Yet everyone seems to feel this inevitability of he's going to have that other Repsol ride when Danny retires. But here's Zarco actually getting results.
Yeah, no way. Not now. This changes everything.
Maybe
right. That's what I'm saying, Everett. This changes everything.
Oh,
maybe
Look
that's
at-
why I'm
look
so
at-
skeptical of Zarco is because there's no nepotism or no
Yeah.
breeding.
But you said
Wrong
it first.
passport,
You
no
said
nepotism.
It first. The wrong path. That is the correct path. But like, here's the thing. Last episode, or the episode
Password
before we talked about
accepted.
Franco Morbidelli. Dude's got 4 wins out of 5 races. He came from 600 Superstock, dog. That dude is not supposed to be where he's at based on his lineage. He is not a Moto3 CEV champion who moved up, to run a couple wild cards in Moto3 and then won Moto3 and moved up with his big sponsors. That is a Brazilian Italian who is riding 600 Superstock. And now we're talking about that dude is going to be in MotoGP next year. What Zarco and Morbidelli are showing is there are other ways around the standard manufactured, corporate, perfectly built, designed riders. Danny was the first one. Right?
Yeah.
Danny was Danny was built by Honda to beat Valentino when they admitted they couldn't. And that goes back to 2006 when they made Nicky ride the Bruno bike that probably wasn't actually even a 900cc bike, probably more like an 800cc bike that they didn't tell anyone about. And Danny was supposed to be the guy. And here we are 10 plus years later and he hasn't won the title and he's always underwhelmed. Maybe the manufacturing riders isn't the way to go.
Yeah.
Well, the designer rider, that whole era of things, like combining that with 800cc, really just made for boring racing as well, right? And now you drop these other riders into the series, and I mean, Petrucci put in some interesting performances. Zarco is doing some crazy things, right? Like riders that haven't classically come from the GP paddock are spicing up the racing. It might.
Right.
There's a whole lot of other factors, right? We could talk about tires. Well, I could. You don't want to.
Oh no, Rob.
But you know what people want to talk about this far in the episode? They want to talk about how to win that Zarco face shield. How to win that visor. Yeah. Fingerprints and bugs, but motherfucking autographed memorabilia. Everyone's on the Zarco hype train. We all kind of secretly hope he wins races and fights for titles and goes to a factory team because he's the everyman. He's the hard-working guy who started late in life. He didn't have rich parents that were the king, the jeweler to the king, and he didn't have Repsol backing from the time he was 12 years old. He just literally worked his way up to the position he's at through hard work, dedication, and grit. So if you want to win that visor, if you want it free, all you got to do, and again, this is going to go to if you have Android or Apple, because a bunch of people bitched last time that if they did, they couldn't review us on Google iTunes. Well, guess what? All of you can review us on Facebook, regardless of your platform. But you got to be on Facebook. So if you're one of like the 4 people that aren't, okay, cool, we'll figure something out for you. But here's how you win that visor. You go to our Facebook, which is facebook.com//BrotoGP, or if you're already one of our friends, you obviously can just go right to it and leave us a review. A written review. Not just the stars, but review us. Just like we said last time, you don't have whatever star you want is fine. It's not going to affect our choice because it's going to be a random choice. But
because we really don't care.
Right, because we don't care, and it's funny. But entertain me, bro. Make me glad. Let peeps know when they look at us that this is a community, and this is a group of people who have fun together and have inside jokes and say funny shit. I mean, last time I spelled it out for you, leave me the Contra code. And the fact that like 80% of our iTunes reviews say Contra code is so awesome. So leave me some kind of late 80s, early 90s video game code or something. If you could answer me the riddle of steel from Conan the Barbarian, that'd be cool. Either way, Facebook, review us, whatever stars you want, write something down. You're in the running to win this visor. We'll announce it next podcast. And for all of you who've already reviewed us, you're in the running, just like last time. So if you did the review just because you fucking love us and that's awesome, sweet, you're in the running. But for those of you who've only done a 5-star review or 4-star review, 3-star review, weird Malaysians who keep reviewing us only 3 stars, you have to write something. It's got to be a written review. You can't just click the 4 stars. It's a little harder than that. Come up with something original. Again, it'll be random, so it doesn't have to be super funny. Don't be intimidated to be like, you have to be the funniest person in the world. But if they are fucking hilarious, you guys get extra shit too. So we'll pick funny ones we like.
And if your girlfriend hates you listening to us, that's even better.
For reals, if your girlfriend hates you listening to us, write that shit, and then we will put that down.
Yeah,
and we will put your girlfriend on blast.
Pretty sure the last girlfriend that hated us got a free shirt out of it, so I think we might have...
Yeah, what's up with that?
She now loves us. That's the whole point. We want to convert them, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So again, to reiterate...
We only have 21 reviews right now, so your chances are pretty good of getting in there.
Right. Again, to reiterate, Facebook.com/BrotoGP, or obviously just search us if you're friends with us or you liked our page. Review us, random drawing. Next podcast we announce it. The best part is this one we can actually know the winner and message you directly, so it's sweet. But we will announce it. It's easy as fuck, guys. No other podcasts give this shit away. No other podcasts are doing this. Literally, we're the only ones. The moment we get swag, we send it away. So in celebration of Zarco, in celebration of Le Mans, in celebration of life in general, and it's all about community and friends enjoying life together and raising our glasses. Write something cool, and you probably, or at least have a pretty damn good shot at winning a signed, autographed, bugs and all, Johann Zarco face shield.
It might have Dennis's tears on it, but it's cool.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah,
and no rigging it, Dennis.
He really does not want to give this away because it fits perfectly into his man cave.
It is sitting in his man cave, no doubt.
Yeah, he's quite sad that he has to give it up, but he's the one that holds on to stuff for us before we give it away and mail it out.
Right.
All right, so we got that through there. Let's move on to motorcycle racing again, because I feel like we're plugging ourselves quite a bit. All right, do you want to talk about...
That's because we're fucking dope. What do you mean we're plugging ourselves? We're plugging ourselves and our fans. We're all one big group here, guys, and we're just trying... We just happen to be the ones who score you guys the legit shit.
Yep, that's how we do. All right, let's switch on over to the winner of this race, Maverick Vinales.
Fuck yeah. Told you.
Yeah, so you're still quite ahead, aren't you, on your bet of...
I'm literally perfectly on track.
Oh,
I said
for 9 wins.
Championship and 9 wins. Going into the 6th race, he has 3 and he leads the title. What say you, Ev? What say you?
Anything can happen anytime.
No doubt. But
as we've
seen, is on point.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. Okay. But what did Maverick do? He won 2 races and he had a little rough spot, and everyone said, "Oh, maybe it's just the beginning of the season. We didn't really hit Europe yet. As soon as we hit Europe, he had some problems in Jerez." But dude came back with a vengeance, and like we said, Rob, you can rattle us off those lap times if you have it hooked up. You probably have this shit saved as your background on your computer right now. Or it's probably your phone background. Is this dude took the challenge of Valentino straight up 100% and fought him, and Valentino crashed. Maverick came out on top, running maybe the most punishing race in terms of pure speed. Straight up, 5 to 5 that we'll see this whole season.
I mean, flat out, the dude rallied though, right? We were talking about how he, the last 2 races had to turn it up. He did. He performed. I mean, we knew it was going to be a Yamaha track, but he still got it done. That's what it takes.
It's funny
and got it done on the day that his 2 rivals did literally the opposite. Got it done on the day that Mark and Valet crash out.
Bitched out.
You know what I mean? Like, he could have gotten 2nd, 3rd, or 4th, and we'd have been saying, hey, he kept it upright, and he clearly didn't make the mistake. But he didn't just get it done. He won the race. He maximized his opponent's mistakes, which is what he's done. He's maximized his timing and his career every single year, and this is just another iteration of that.
The thing that really is the highlight for me of his entire race was that final lap. Like, we don't really need to talk about the lap before, and we'll get into Rossi's mistake a little bit, but on the final lap, Maverick posted the fastest lap of the race. Sure, the track was favoring tires and definitely allowed them to have the grip towards the end, but it was ridiculous the fact that they essentially just rattled off fastest laps for the last 10 laps of the race. Like, Maverick and Rossi were trading back and forth.
Like a boss.
They'd cross the line, and the first person across the line would set the fastest lap, then the second person would set a slightly faster lap. It was just like, that's always fun.
Yeah,
right.
And it was
Maverick
just
literally
to put
got
in
past.
that.
Good.
To put in that performance while also having to to apply that pressure to Rossi and to then win the race just highlighted and cemented that victory for me from him.
Oh, it was psychological, big time.
You want to talk about psychological? Everyone saw Valentino's face, with the fucking camera because that director pointed that shit up. And
They
said,
should
like,
not have done that. That was fucked up,
That
dude.
was right. That was as psychological as it gets. That was Yamaha's 500th Grand Prix win. Rossi has Honda's 500 Grand Prix win. That was more than a win. That was a statement, and that was, I steal Yamaha from you. That's a major milestone for the Yamaha brand, and Valentino, who is synonymous with the Yamaha brand. We all forget he won 3 titles with the Honda, and he was the poster boy. But he's so synonymous with Yamaha at this point. But what Maverick did was steal not just a win, but a milestone win, a crown in the a feather in the hat, a crown jewel in the crown, and for me, the most powerful thing that Maverick did was he pushed Valentino to the limit, and then Valentino crashed while Maverick posted the fastest lap of the race. He had more in his back pocket than Valentino had. I had more willpower than you.
And I know it's a little bit tough, and I genuinely wonder if Rossi was thinking about winning the race for Hayden and trying to push harder for that. I know it sounds kind of maybe cheesy, whatever you want to call it, but I think he really wanted to win it for him.
Valentino has a connection to Hayden that a lot of these guys don't, because Valentino, Danny, Pedrosa are really the only ones left from that generation, and Danny is not even really that generation. He was the next generation. You know what I mean? Like, Valentino and Hayden were teammates in 2003.
Yeah.
There was an emotional connection to that. I can't speak for Valentino. I don't know, but the way the tears, you could see tears in Valentino's eyes. You could see not winning that race affected him on a far more deep level than it had ever affected him before. I mean, we saw him at Aston last year when he crashed out and didn't win that race. He looked pretty despondent, but this was different. In fact, I posted a picture saying, like, man, fuck the feels. This is before we knew that Hayden would go on to pass, but that was fucking tragic looking in his face, man. There was real man emotion there that
exactly
just hit me hard. Like, fuck, Valentino was broke up about that loss.
I mean, I do wonder if that one single lap of the whole season is going to be the line in the sand where people point to it and say, yeah, this is where Maverick took over.
Here's the thing. We all knew that this was not going to be a Honda track. We knew that the new grippy surface, like I said, look, I'm just a fucking schmuck on the internet where we record on iPhones and GoToMeeting with my homeboy Everett and my main man Rob. But even we all knew that this was a Yamaha track and that Yamahas were pretty much fated to win this one short of a fuck up.
Yep.
But Honda had Marquez, the bro choked, because he knew he needed to limp this one home and just get some points, right? Live to fight another day. I know that's in poor taste right now, live to fight another day, but you know what I mean? Like, there's always next one, get the points you can, and move forward, and the dude completely tosses it away under the punishing pace that Yamaha and that, Valentino and Maverick were able to do.
His crash was really, really strange, right? That was such a very, very bizarre spot to crash at. And Marquez had been running fastest laps, catching those guys. And so for him to crash right there in a weird kind of like front end tuck dash, I don't know if I'd call it a high side, but it was peculiar.
It was the Jack Miller crash. It just Marquez so happened to not end up pointing straight towards the wall.
Right, his front
shit was insane.
Yeah, his front push and the front end slid, turning right though, and it's like, dude, you're not supposed to push right there out. You should be. It was very.
I mean,
the physics were weird.
We've seen this from Honda. We've seen this from
Go ahead.
Honda before. They generally take a little bit longer to set up the bike than Yamaha does, and with the limited dry track time, I'm not that surprised that the Hondas had setup issues and weren't able to push forward, especially at a classic Yamaha track. It just
right.
Winner Bin came back, and he wasn't able to rein it in, just like he wasn't able to do it last year. Like, at least last year he was able to get back on the bike and score, one solitary point, I think?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but 1 point, and we've seen in the last few years, 1 point, 5 points makes a huge difference between World Superbike and MotoGP in the last few years. We've seen it.
It was 3 points. It was 3 points because so many people crashed.
These small number of points add up, and we saw that Marquez last year maturing was able to win the title, knowing that some days you just got to make it through. You got to grit your teeth and bear, and know that fifth place fucking smarts.
Yeah.
But you know you can win races at other tracks that favor you, and you gotta make sure you finish. And to crash out after he's already crashed out. Like, look, all the fans on Instagram and all our fans on Facebook gave me shit because I made that picture from that old Simpsons episode. Oh, yeah. If you look closely, you can see the exact moment his heart breaks, or in this case, the exact moment he throws his title away. He already threw one race away. He already crashed one DNF out. This is not the... Right, but to do it again is a problem. 2 unnecessary DNFs is a title.
Marquez
is critical for the title.
Marquez is supposed to be smarter than that now. That's what we all were at least talking about. That he's getting smarter, right? He's bringing it home. Remember last year, right? He's just bringing it home. He knows how to be smart about it. He's not smart about it still. It's like, dude, you clearly know you're gonna get 5th. You're gonna get fucking 5th. Take it.
Right.
And go to the bank and fucking go to the next weekend. Nope. Couldn't do it.
I wonder this year, though, if 2 crashes is going to be the title killer. Because last year, the frequency of crashes skyrocketed, and it doesn't actually seem to be letting up this year. Like, the Michelins just seem... The riders don't have their head wrapped around that front tire, and they're still crashing.
Yeah. They're more random.
Right?
They're more random, and I think 2 you can get away with. 3, which means he's got a long fucking season. 1 more... Dude, toast.
Yeah. Right, we're not even finished through the first third of the season, and he has used up his allotted crashes for the season.
3 strikes you're out.
Right?
3 strikes you're out, bro.
And, right.
Baseball.
And are we really expecting 9 guys to win a race this season?
No.
We're not.
No fucking way.
No one thinks that.
No.
Right? The Ducatis are struggling mightily between Lorenzo having to adapt and realize that, yes, there is a rear brake, and the lack of wings, and the fact that, I just simply don't see that many riders winning. I mean, look at Suzuki. They won a race last year. Do you see Suzuki winning a race this year?
No fucking way.
Come on, for reals.
No development. To your point,
this is not
all new riders on the fucking musical chairs. I mean, it's just the circumstances not the same. It's probably not going to rain as much. We'll just assume that, right?
Right.
Even if it did,
El Nino. It is not El Nino. It's not El Nino.
Even if it did, I don't think it would matter.
The Nina.
Yeah, this is a different year. We've solidified this year is going to favor the factories more than it ever has before, unless your name is Johann Zarco. And I just see that consistency, and that was what was so heartbreaking for Valentino, was we all kind of hoped that, man, will the wily old veteran just simply use his wealth of experience under different conditions to win, and to could he win this title with the less wins than Maverick or Marquez? I don't know, but it was definitely rough to see those guys crash out, but at the same time, you're the best until you're not. And Marc Marquez did that to Jorge Lorenzo, and Jorge Lorenzo did that to Valentino, and Casey Stoner did it to him. Someone's going to do it to Marquez, and like I've been saying since last year when he signed,
it's going to be Zarco.
It's going to be Maverick. It's going to be Maverick.
It's going to be Zarco.
Oh, they could
motherfucking Zarco.
Yeah, there you go. The conspiracy guy.
Danny.
Oh, should we transition to Danny Pedrosa already?
Yeah, exactly. We are ahead of the syllabus.
Dark horse. Bring it.
See, Everett, you have been saying it. He is not that far back in points. He's actually sitting second in the championship right now. And he's got his 1 crash as well. He already has a win, unlike Valentino for the year. So, do you think Danny can actually put it together for this season and mount a serious challenge to Vinales? I mean, we know that Kev will say no if we ask him if Danny Pedrosa is going to win the title. Yeah. So that's why I'm going with you, Everett.
Kev's not allowed. Yeah, you're out, Kev. Stop it. Stop it.
I want to
Stop
answer
it.
so bad.
You can't talk. We're gonna just blow airtime just so you can't talk.
Damn it.
That is exactly the hard part. Is nobody knows. He is such a unpredictable. He crashes, he breaks. It's either game over or he doesn't crash. And I think it's 50-50. It's that simple.
So you think if he actually goes down and doesn't hurt himself, that he can mount the challenge?
No, he can't go.
That's what I'm saying.
Wait, hold on.
Let me talk.
Hold on. One last point. He can't go down because he can't DNF. He has to be Mr. Consistency. But if he does go down and he breaks, obviously all bets are off.
All right, Kev,
That's
you can
my
talk
point.
now. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Come up for air. Come up for air, Kev.
So for reals, that's my point. My heart says yes. I want Danny to be able to win the title. Fuck, that would be great. But at the same time, I can't answer that question until I see Bro crash and see him not get hurt. The dude is just too delicate.
He's been bulking up, bro.
Right? He's been punching above his weight. Just ask Cal Crutchlow. What we did see with Danny was when he smelled blood and saw a podium.
Right.
He fucking rammed
dude.
Cal straight off the planet. That was gangster, dude.
I've only seen it like 3 or 4 times in his whole career, and he only does it when he knows he's got the juice to fucking take it.
Tell me what races you remember him seeing it, because I can't recall a single one.
There was one a few years back at
that.
Aragon, he did it, if I remember right, where he did a little bump check and he's like, no, bump, I gotta go, dude, I'm way faster. And he just did it. And you're like, holy shit, he just fucking bumped. It's just
where he came from on the grid was unbelievable. Dude was in Q1. So they're talking about a Q1 rider who podiumed.
Yeah, but that was the fluke of the whole qualifying, right? Is the whole thing was the most weird mismatch of times. And so he knew he had the pace, right? So that's
but this goes back to what we said last week is the real Danny Pedrosa finally stood up, right? We've known him for years as having amazing starts, and then for the past 2-3 years or so, he seemed to lose them. Now he pulls one out of the bag to make it back from 13th on the grid or something. It finally happened again.
Dude, somebody fucking made him mad. I don't know. Just got mad.
I mean, hey, Danny did what you need to do when you win a title is look, everyone who's ever won the title happened to have most likely the best bike and was the best rider of that year and had luck where he needed it. And this weekend, Danny had luck when he needed it, which was he's running a distant fourth and one of his title rivals randomly crashes out with a lap and a half to go. And suddenly, I'm on the podium. And suddenly, I'm in second in the championship. How did I get there? See, he took it, like I said about Maverick, that the key to this whole race was that he won when all his main rivals faltered. Danny snuck himself onto the podium that had no business being there at a time when many of the other title rivals faltered. And that's the kind of luck that you need. Part of winning a MotoGP title is luck, whether anyone wants to say it or not. Part of that is being in the right place at the right time, having the right bike, whether you knew it was the right bike or not, being in the right place at the right time. Hey, look at Nicky Hayden in 2006. Colin Edwards crashes out on the last lap of Assen, and those few points are what make the difference. Tony Elias wins that race on an old, discarded Pedrosa tire. That 5 points costs Valentino the title.
That's right.
You have to be in the right place at the right time. It's 1/3 skill, 1/3 who you know, i.e. your team and your bike, and 1/3 luck. And this weekend, Danny podiumed with a little bit of luck on his side, while also having the best bike, one of the best bikes, and having the determination to go from 13th on the grid to the podium. That's the kind of performances that make championships.
I will be totally fine with Danny winning the title if he can pull a 2006 and just grind it out and bring it to the last round.
Well, and you got to, but you got to keep seeing aggressive passes like that when he knows he's got the speed, right? You got to see that, and then it makes you feel good about him getting that title if it happens.
You absolutely. That's the thing.
Yeah,
he seized his moment. He seized the moment. He did not settle. You know,
Precisely.
he could have easily settled for behind Cal or hoping to just kind of pass him on a straight, but he didn't settle. And Danny has been traditionally sort of knocked as the guy who settles, who doesn't fight. Whether it's deserved or not, I'm not here to argue.
We said exactly that with Coda and him conceding to Valentino for second.
Right, and sometimes Danny has been accused of that. That's been his reputation, that he simply doesn't fight. I've often thought that was burned into his subconscious in 2006 when he accidentally took out Nicky in Portugal.
It's because we're American.
And no laughing. No, not laughing. I'm honestly saying that Danny in his rookie year made what appeared at the time to be a titanic error. Mm-hmm. And ever since then, the guy who won multiple junior and intermediate class titles didn't seem to have the same level of fight that we would have expected someone with his pedigree to have.
Right.
I've often thought that was burned in his subconscious, but what we've seen in his later years is that slowly fading and Danny bringing the fight to it. I legitimately hope that Danny fights for the title this year. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, but he comes from that era of smooth, and whoever's faster, you give them the right of way, and you don't have to fight over it. They're clearly faster.
Right, the gentleman's agreement between him and
Lorenzo.
Yeah,
that era.
Yeah.
And he was kind of in that kind of thick of that era, and I don't know. I mean, maybe he's realizing that if you want to be a champion, and it's pretty interesting to see that later in his career, and that desire. So it's good.
Right. So, the question really is this Valentino's last stand, or did he throw it away, and does Danny have a chance at this? Because right now, we see exactly what, here on this podcast, we've seen, that Maverick is not only going to win the title, but he's going to dominate the title. And is this a dominating year that we see like Stoner in 2007, or is this a 2016 style year where anything can happen, no one knows, and what,
All right, the loser has to pick a big booger and eat it.
I'm ready to. Okay, great. Because I love boogers.
I don't really want to eat a booger, but I want you to lose.
Okay, Rob just messaged me. What are we going to end this on? And we said we weren't going to talk about Moto 2 and Moto 3.
Let's stick it with that. I actually feel like I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say that we're going to get a 2016 sort of anything can happen year, solely because, or my main justification is that we're still on Michelin's, and the riders still have no clue what's going on with those tires, and they're going to change again.
No, hold on, Rob. Yes, the riders do have a clue what's happened to the tires. That we're changing to a whole new set of tires.
Yeah.
And I said I wasn't going to talk shit, but I'm going to have to. So the riders had to vote. Hold on. There's new tires.
They're
going to
new
bring
front
a new
tire.
style tire.
A new
front tire. And the riders voted on this shit. And only like 3 dudes voted against it,
yep,
right?
It was
one
20
of those
to 3.
dudes.
20 to 3.
Yeah.
And one of those dudes was Jorge Lorenzo.
We assume. We don't know that. We don't know that. We assume one of them.
No, we do.
I thought we didn't know he was...
We know this. No, we know this because Jack motherfucking Miller told Jorge on his opinion about not switching tires and complaining that opinions are like assholes and you can shove yours straight up yours. Fucking Jack Miller. Dude has one of the most horrific looking crashes you could ever see. Like, I was shades of Simoncelli on that crash, bro. And the dude bounces back like nothing fucking happened and then tells 3-time champion, hey, stick your fucking opinion up your ass, dick face. We're choosing this tire and that's what we're doing. I love Jack Miller. He's a boot drinking, gunslinging Aussie and I love him. That was one of the best parts of the weekend for me was everyone voted for the new tire but basically Lorenzo, and then Jack Miller, the guy who's like fighting for ninth.
Which is,
you know what I mean?
Which, let's think about that. That's really ironic that he wouldn't want the new tire, given that he seems pretty terrible on the existing tires. Am I missing something?
Yeah, the new tire is actually stiffer, so it will likely be worse for Jorge.
Oh, less feel.
It's only a tiny bit stiffer, so but it likely is going to give a slight advantage to Marquez
but again,
Rossi.
Isn't anything better at this point? I mean, it's not like he set the world on fire.
I mean, Jorge didn't have that bad of a weekend.
Everyone crashed out in
Jorge
front of
has
him.
exactly as many. Jorge has exactly as many as podiums as Johann Zarco. They have the same amount of podiums.
And he's getting
That's
paid
true.
a pittance compared to him.
And
Cal
Jorge has far
Crutchlow-
fewer points.
Yeah.
Right. Cal Crutchlow has more points than fucking Jorge.
Oh, boy.
You know, I mean, here's the thing. An episode ago, we talked how fucking hilarious it was that Jack Miller was going off on fans on Twitter or on Instagram and all that. And all that's great. And I love Jack Miller. He apparently hates when people tag him in a photo, which is pretty funny to me. But the dude has no fucks. He looked Jorge straight in the eye, apparently, at the rider safety meeting and said, opinions are like assholes and you can shove yours up yours. Like, no one gives a fuck what you think, dude. You're the biggest crybaby in the paddock, and you're whining like crazy, and you're celebrating the third place victory like it's a win.
Did you?
Like, we don't give a fuck.
Did you say he has no fucks or he gives no fucks?
The same amount. He has none to give.
Point of clarification. Thank you. Appreciate it. Continue.
Right, yeah, exactly. Let me clarify. He has none to give. So,
And
let me just say, as I'm slurring my words and mixing up my words, I've raised a lot of glasses to Nicky in this episode. I'm probably on like my 6th glass of red wine. And, you know, so Rob's texting me, messaging, how are we going to wrap this up? That's how I'm going to wrap it up.
We're going to wrap it up with some dude getting arrested on Rob's fucking Mustang.
Fuck yeah. Rob, we're filming an episode of Cops outside Rob's house
What you
right
gonna
now,
do?
man.
What you gonna do?
Bad boys.
Get his insurance, get his info so you can get your insurance on him. Get your hood replaced.
Right.
He's gonna dent it, dude.
Rob
they are, dude.
Yeah.
I know where you live, man. They are fucking your car up right now.
a telephone
cops.
pole
So
fell on the hood of my Mustang like 4 years ago anyway.
I actually know how I want to segue. So I want to know how I want to segue this because, you know, obviously we're wrapping it up. But right now, Maverick leads, but anything can happen. And we're headed into probably the single greatest race of any season, the Mugello round. We're headed into the one race where Valentino says the only thing that feels better than winning at Mugello is winning the championship. We're talking about a round so important it damn near rivals the championship.
We're heading into a round where I'm going to be going to it with our...
That's what I was saying. You and OG fan Bossum are being at that round. The round where if I had my say, we'd have 69 seconds of motherfucking noise and revving and noise. Noisemakers and
revving and
burnouts.
noise and revving.
Fucking
and
noise.
Hugs and,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And hugs. Bro hugs all around. You know what I mean?
You gotta watch Trolls. You gotta watch Trolls, the movie, but you know.
Right. We're if you have kids, you've seen that movie. But we're going into one of the most important rounds of the season, if not the most important round of the season, where Valentino's on point, Maverick's on point, Mark has something to prove, Danny's in the title hunt, the Ducatis have tested here a bunch, and Lorenzo has something to prove. That's for goddamn sure.
The Mecca.
At a race which is the Mecca of the season, and the only thing that's more important than winning here is winning the championship. The only thing that's more important in all of motorcycle racing is winning the championship, is Mugello round, winning there.
Oh.
We got a lot of stuff. It's Mugello Express.
And you know what's going to happen. Marquez is pretty much out of it. Rossi's probably feeling like he's somewhat out of it. They got no fucks to give either, and they're going to go for it. They're going for the win. Dude, you win Mugello, it's like winning the fucking Super Bowl. So, everyone's going to throw it down. Iannoni's going to throw it down. Dovi's going to throw it down. Those two guys are going to throw it down. It's as good as it gets. It's the best event of the year. And from here out, whoever does win and comes out with the title lead is going to really set the stage. And whoever's in second is likely going to be the two horses we're going to watch for the rest of the year. It's that simple.
Right. We're talking about the Super Bowl. We're talking about the biggest bragging rights for a single race. The fucking straight of all straights that has a kink in the middle of it. The craziest fans. The track that's in the greatest location. I mean, first of all, have y'all ever been to Tuscany? Shit is heaven on earth. Straight up.
Florence in that ass.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, I don't want to end on a somber note, but if there is a heaven right now, it's Mugello in the summer, and Nicky and Simoncelli are riding around getting free practice for all of us to be up there for the fucking race we get to see when all is said and done. So, I couldn't be more jacked for a race with a bunch of guys who got nothing to lose who could win a race than I am for Mugello. So, I'm raising my glass one last time. Here's to Mugello.
Cheers,
here's
brother.
to Nicky.
Cheers.
Here's to fucking motorcycle racing and living life to the fullest.
Here's to that.
Amen, brother.
Cheers to that, dog. And Dennis, you a bitch for not being on this episode.
All right, everyone. Thanks for listening, and we will catch you after Mugello.
Just kidding, Dennis. I love you. I love you, bro.